Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for tonight, Monday, February 12th, 2018. Valentine's Day week, Rusev Day week, wherever it is Rusev Day week. Live tonight from not Los Angeles, California, but California, San Jose, California. As we enter the chamber, 2 weeks away from it, Raw's been decent the last couple weeks from good action. This week, once again, with some good action. Some good women's action. Well, like one really good women's match. We didn't see a heel turn, but it's slowly building. Plus, got some news concerning the chamber. And speaking of the chamber, we were supposed to find out who was going to fill the final slot in our chamber match for the boys. And well, I'm sorry to play the song again. I played it last week. Now play it again. Because tonight's main event was filled with controversy. Yep. Screw you indeed. To the main event tonight, which became a fatal 5-way with another guy added. I'll tell you who that was in a minute. And we had, in my mind, not just segment of the night, but segment of the year contender already with a funny segment involving a former drifter and a monster among men. Before I get to that, got mentioned some wrestling related news over the last few days. I'm hearing rumors that starting with Backlash in May, WWE is going to go back to multi-branded pay-per-views for all pay-per-views, not just the Royal Rumble Survivor Series and all that. They're going to go back to multi-branded pay-per-views for all branded pay-per-views. I think that's what they did during the first brand split too. You know, first couple of years they had brand exclusive pay-per-views, but then when tickets weren't selling, they decided, hey, all the branded pay-per-views, guess what? They're all multi-brand. And that's what I'm hearing the rumors are flying about. So, we'll see if those rumors are true. But rumor that isn't true is Booker T and Corey Graves do not hate each other. There was some beef, but it was all a work. It was all a work. They said on Booker T's radio show. I think Booker was live from Astronomicon. This weekend, I got to meet the 5-time WCW champion. I don't know if you can see that good, but yeah, there's me and Booker T. I had the pinky for King Booker. Nice guy. I was dressed as Zack Ryder. I had a lot of people woo-woo-wooing at me. Even Booker recognized that I was dressed as Zack Ryder. He was a cool dude. I met another guy. I'll tell you about that when I get to a match that I want to talk to him about doing. But I even bumped into Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were there. Godfather's this pop culture convention in Sterling Heights, Michigan. It was fun. It was put together by Tristan, who used to be with Insane Clown Posse. And World War Animal was there. I even did an impression of his brother. John Laurinaitis, People Power! So, he kind of got a kick out of it. I hope he did. But, yeah. So, we would kick off Raw with John Cena. Talking about he's in the chamber match. But, of course, he lost his chance to enter the chamber last. And he got pinned by Elias last week after being power slammed by Strowman. He was in that match, too. And after Strowman's power slam, that's when Elias kicked Strowman out and picked up the pin. But Cena's like, no matter what, I'm going to be in that match and I must win. I must win because if I don't win, I don't have a road to WrestleMania. That means he has no match. Well, there's been a little bit of rumor about who was going to face at Mania, and he had some foreshadowing about his possible woman match at Mania, saying that WrestleMania is the chance for people to become legends. And it's also an event that legends can come back from the dead. Is that a little foreshadowing for The Undertaker's return? Anywho, as you were saying, he must win the match. You know, we know, sadly, who's going to win. The other man who likes to bury people. The man who is also like Cena. Faster than Rey Mysterio, more powerful than a Big Show, and able to bury careers in a single bound. Super Reigns! But as Cena was talking, here comes The Miz. I got me by his Mr. Watch. Talking about Cena, you should not win the main event. This ain't 2013. This is 2018. And it's the year of The Miz. This is a new thing now. Saying that I beat you in the main event before Mania. Well, thanks to The Rock. But anyway, he's like, I'm going to be the one to go to Chamber match. And I can do better against Lesnar than you did against him in 2014. You're the godfather of Suplex City. That is somewhat true. Cena got his ass kicked in SummerSlam 14. But as Miz was blabbing, Cena's like, Miz, put your money where your mouth is. How about we face off tonight? Not for your title. But since we know who's going to enter last, being Elias, how about we see who's going to be first? So the loser gets going first. But Miz is like, you think I'm that stupid to take a match from you? And then that moment, bam! Axel and Bo bounced on Cena with a double team assault. And Miz accepted his challenge and wanted to get the referee out there so he can get the pin on Cena. So then Angle came out saying, match is on now, kind of awkwardly. Said to the referee, but he said, oh yeah, Miz Watch, you're out from ringside. So Miz had to go one-on-one. Finally, a Miz match with no interference. So he's going to get a quick pin on Cena, but Cena was down long enough to recover and get a quick kick out. They wrestled many times, these two. And it was a decent little match to open up here. I like the sequences of submissions. Miz was going for, a lot of times he was going for the figure four. And Cena would counter and reverse it into the STF. But he also had one time turn it into a kind of a yes lock. Kind of funny knowing that D-Bry and Miz had a feud going on SmackDown. So these are the match here after the submission attempts. Both guys nailed the finishers, and both guys kicked out of them. And I was like, who's going to eat the pin here? They can have their so-called, he's still the golden boy, even though now there's a new golden boy in town, Roman Reigns. He's still the elder golden boy of WWE. He can't make Cena lose 2 weeks in a row. And it's like, how can they have the IC champion lose on a match? But then after seeing both guys doing the finishes, I was like, if they're going to have Cena win this match, we're going to see a super FU off the top rope for the victory. Because he got the Wangler FU, he couldn't do it. And boy, oh boy, was I fucking right. Both guys tried to do the finishes on the top rope, but only Cena was successful. He did do a 1 on cue, the Avalanche FU, and the 1-2-3 victory for John Cena. Cena wins again. LOL. That means The Miz will be entering a chamber match first. So, like I said, these matches, good action. Good. I like their submission attempts. And Miz is a good vicious. I think I think big knees from Miz, but he had good opportunities. Like I said, he did do the finisher on him, skull crushing finale. But Cena kicked out because no matter what you do, Cena kicks out at 2. But 8, the Super FU, the Avalanche. I want to say a little factoid about an Avalanche move. And I think there's a factoid that I don't think has ever happened. I'll get to that when we get to that match that also had an Avalanche finish. Throughout the evening, you would see promos from the guys in our Fatal 4-Way that became a 5-Way. We had Broken Matt Hardy. I heard he got all the trademarks back of the Broken universe. I even heard WWE got the license to all the footage from TNA of all the Haunted Compound footage. That's insane. And he said all his competitors would be obsolete. Balor had a promo. My favorite promo of all the guys that were in the Chamber Fatal 4-Way Second Chance match was Apollo Crews and Titus Worldwide. Titus took over the interview. He said, are you worried about being deleted by Matt Hardy? No, I'm not. Are you worried about Rollins burning it down? No, I'm going to extinguish his flame. Are you worried about being eaten by the Eater of Worlds? Nope. I kind of spoiled who's in the Fatal 5 right now. Rollins. I'll get to how he got in a minute. And then it's like, are you worried about joining a Balor club? There's the only club I need. Titus Worldwide. And I like them. You know what I mean? They finally got their niche down. Because of upset wins over the ball and showing the personality, especially this segment saying, Cruz can't lose. There has to be a t-shirt, people. Cruz can't lose. Well, we like Cruz, but he'll probably lose. Saturday night, we have a tag team affair. The club, Balor Club, speaking of Balor Club, we would have Gallows and Anderson taking on Revival in what is like a women match. Both have exchanged victories with each other. Of course, Gallows and Anderson beat Revival at Raw 25. Revival beat the club at Royal Rumble pre-show. Then last week, we had Gallows and Anderson and Balor beating the Revival. But tonight, Revival was going to settle their beef squarely with Gallows and Anderson. Had a little promo before their match, calling Revival a bunch of nerds. It's actually kind of over. But as the Balor Club's Gallows and Anderson were walking their way to the ring, out of nowhere, here comes Revival, attacking them from behind, especially clipping the knee of Luke Gallows, which would be a big target throughout the match, as they would isolate Gallows throughout the beginning of the match with the great double teaming and quick tagging of Revival, the old school mentality, until Anderson got the attack in his decent little tag team match. He came in like a house of fire, clotheslined at people, but then he attacked his partner Gallows, and his knee would be attacked yet again. And with the knee clipped, the Revival would set him up and deliver the Shadow Machine in the 1-2-3 victory for the Revival. Actually, they Shadow Machine Anderson. They took out Gallows with the knee, but they Shadow Machine Anderson. So, and I thought a few weeks ago at Raw 25 they got buried by DX. A lot of people, including myself, they thought they were going to get ascensionized. Well, they actually won the rubber match, so at least, hey, they're not buried yet. So at least they got some big wins here over the club, the Balor Club. So there you go. We'll see how their leader does, being Balor, later on in the evening. Now on to our next segment involving Kurt Angle, making 2 announcements concerning the Elimination Chamber and the status of his son, storyline son, Jason Jordan. Kurt announced that at the Chamber pay-per-view, Ronda Rousey will appear and fully sign with Monday Night Raw. Now, we know Rousey's in WWE, but we didn't know what brand she was on. So now she's officially going to join Monday Night Raw. That begs the question, what's the deal with the Nia Jax Bliss match? I'm hearing a lot of rumors about Rousey being in a tag match against Stephanie. Rumor that she'd be brought in to get Stephanie over. Really? Because Nia Jax is supposed to face Asuka. Not Bliss. Asuka at the Chamber match. And if Nia wins, she gets added to the Triple Threat match for the Raw title. Even if Asuka's never really chose the champion. And now with Rousey on Raw, Asuka still hasn't really chosen yet. So she could choose SmackDown instead. And go for Charlotte. Especially with Rousey now on Raw. It could be Rousey and Bliss. Unless they decide to do a Rousey match with Stephanie or something. As reported by many Dutch sheets. So this brings a lot more interesting now. Knowing that Rousey is not only picked a brand, but it's Raw. I thought it was SmackDown. So it could be Asuka and Charlotte. So we'll see how this pans out next couple of weeks. He also announced the status of Jason Jordan. We've known his injuries. Worse than anybody thought. We thought it was like a back injury, but now it's a neck injury. And he had surgery on his neck. And a lot of people thought he might be out for a while. And now they're saying he's out for WrestleMania. People healed it. Now, they're probably happy because like Jordan, it's sad when someone gets hurt. Especially Jordan was starting it over as an obnoxious heel. He was finally starting to find his footing. And he was supposed to face Rollins at Mania after Ambrose got hurt back in November. So with all options out for Rollins, what the fuck Rollins is going to do? And that's what Rollins is probably thinking himself. After finding out his former tag team partner, who screwed him out of a tag team title match last week, with Roman Reigns as his new partner when Jordan was cleared out. But Jordan got involved anyway, causing him to get DQ'd against the Bar, which was Rollins' last chance with any partner over the tag team titles, Rollins came out and said, sorry about your son. And even Angle diminished the fans, saying, even if you don't like Jason Jordan, he's still a human being. You don't cheer someone for getting hurt, even if you don't like him. Say that next time Roman Reigns gets hurt, and people cheer when he's out. Say the same damn thing you just said about your son for Roman Reigns, because everyone's going to cheer when Roman gets hurt too. Anywho, Rollins said, hey, now with Jordan out of the picture, I need to be the man again. At WrestleMania, not that far from here, I cashed in my Money in the Bank. And I want to be the man again. I want to be at WrestleMania, and I want to be the one to fight Brock Lesnar. There's only one way to get there, and that's through the Elimination Chamber match. I'm not even in the pay-per-view. It's like I should be a top guy. A lot of people have been questioning Rollins' booking for the last year and a half. Like, he had some good stuff with Ambrose and, of course, Reigns in the Shield reunion, only to get Roman over, but still, some good matches there with the ball until it got too damn old. This is the view that never ends. It kind of continues with ball against Roman tonight. We'll get to that later. So, Rollins is like, I know I'm not technically in the chamber match yet, but how about you make that fatal 4-way later a fatal 5-way? And it was like, that would be a detriment to all the 4 guys who were preparing to face each other, not ready to face another guy. But you know what? You're the guy. You're the man. You're Seth freaking Rollins. And you technically did not lose your hometown match. Typically, hometown people lose their matches in hometowns. But Rollins technically kind of did not lose. He won by DQ last week. Well, he didn't lose by DQ, but he didn't get pinned. But still, he will be in the Fatal 5-Way, as I just mentioned earlier. So, there you go. Angle logic. He made a match between Miz and Cena when Cena was laid out. And he told Rollins, adding you to the match will be detriment to the 4 guys. F logic. You in. So, there you go. So that's our main event. We'll get to the controversy later on. But I want to Bayley and Sasha. They had a little feud going about who can beat Asuka. Anything you can do, I can do better. But we both lost to Asuka, yeah. And good matches with Asuka the last 2 weeks, Bayley and Sasha. And they both faced off again tonight. A lot of rumors talking about a heel turn. And I think the seeds are planning for, especially the finish of this match. Not as good as the NXT matches, but it was still good. A good match. There was kind of a callback to NXT Brooklyn 1 with Sasha attacking Bayley's arm throughout the match. And she had it on the outside. And I think Sasha learned from her match against Asuka and did not do a suicide dive because she almost killed herself last time doing that suicide dive. She botched and got kicked in the head by Asuka. And had a kick in the head. So she didn't do suicide dive tonight. She had opportunities to do it, but she didn't. So I think she's learning from Asuka. And maybe heeding the advice of Mick Foley, who tweeted out, don't do the suicide dive anymore, Sasha. Stop trying to kill yourself. So, this coming from a glorified stuntman who fell off the top of Hell in a Cell. But who am I to judge? Anywho, like I said, good match with these two grappling. Both going for submission, especially there was a great sequence going into the bank statement. And Bayley was going for some, and then Sasha would counter into the bank statement. That was cool. Little segment there. Oh, that was when Bayley was going for a top rope elbow and miss, and that's when Sasha would call her into the bank statement. That was like cool. Little sequence there. Both girls were delivering the best. Sasha went for the knees a couple times. But then the end of the match came when Bayley would come up on the top rope, setting up a suplex on Miss Banks, or even a top rope hook come on like she did at TakeOver Brooklyn 1. Another callback. But instead, she did a top rope belly to belly in the 1-2-3 victory for Bayley. When was the last time we saw 2 matches end with an avalanche finisher? I don't remember a time we see 2 matches end with a super finisher of the top rope, because we saw a super avalanche FU and a super avalanche belly to belly. 2 matches with an avalanche finisher, 2 matches on Raw. Has that ever happened? If it does, if it has happened before, let me know. But I think it might be the first time ever we might have seen that. 2 avalanche finishers in the same night. In 2 matches, so. But with Bayley winning, it could set the seeds of motion for Sasha heel turn. I mean, they may swerve us and make Bayley turn heel. But I hope whoever turns heel either next week or at the Chamber match. And we both are going to get that heel turn from Sasha or Bayley tonight. Because after the match, as they were staring each other down, right before one was going to attack the other, here comes Nia Jax to lay out both of them. Making a statement to Asuka. As I mentioned, Nia Jax will be facing Asuka at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, while Sasha and Bayley will be brawling in the Women's Elimination Chamber match. And I mentioned Astronomicon. I met the man who created the Elimination Chamber match. I was reminded of that fact during his WWE Network photo shoot special last week, right before I met him. Mr. Eric Bischoff. I don't know if you can see it there. I got an angle. Yeah, that's me and Eric Bischoff there at Astronomicon. Great pop culture convention. I'll definitely go again. He signed my Monday Night War DVD. I've had this for a long time. I had him sign the cover. I even asked him, and I loved your photo shoot, special on the network. And since you invented a chamber match, I thought it was just, you said it on TV, but you really invented a chamber off screen as well. What do you think about the women getting a chamber match? Bischoff told me, I have no thoughts. I just think it's exciting that women get an opportunity to find a chamber match. It's exciting for them to get a chamber match. I think it's awesome for them. So that's what he told me. So, because I wanted to ask each wrestler a question at the convention. Because I asked Animal about War Games. I had so many questions in my head, but I went with a War Games question. And he said it was his favorite match he's ever done. And he had a lot of funny stories about Hawk. And he even ended his panel with a, what a lush. So, but, that was my question to Bischoff about what he thought about the women's chamber match. That popped in my head after I saw the WWE photo shoot. And he said it was a fun, special shoot. The only guys I took pictures with was Booker T and Eric Bischoff because he had to pay for everybody. So I just got a photo with Booker T. I didn't get an autograph, but I got a photo and an autograph from Bischoff. But I shook hands with Bruce Pritchard, Brother Love. I met Fist Pump the Godfather, and even got to talk a little bit with Scott Hall. And saw Kevin Nash a little bit. Said hi to him too. I don't think I talked to Kevin Nash in conversation, but I at least said hi to him. And the Angry Video Game Day was supposed to be there, but he got canceled due to flight delays. Due to a nasty snowstorm that hit Michigan this weekend. So, there you go. Now on with the rest of the wall. Speaking of women, we would have the remaining 4 women who are going to be in a chamber match. With Absolutions, Mandy Wells and Sonya Deville taking on the unlikely reunited team of Alexa Bliss, the Raw Women's Champion, and Mickie James. Stemming from what happened last week, when Alexa Bliss inadvertently saved Mickie James from a double team from Absolutions. Like, is Bliss heel now or face? Should I say? So then they talked backstage before the match, with Alexa Bliss being questioned by Mickie about why she did what she did last week. And of course they brought up their rivalry over last fall about Biscuit Butt and old women comments and said, hey, tonight, past in the past, I did appreciate you doing what you did to me, for me last week. I don't know your motive, but I appreciate it. But tonight, we're a team. But Sunday, I'm going for that idol, Biscuit Butt, honey. So, Paige is still at ringside as the manager, at least keeping an eye, even though she still hasn't really addressed the rumors about her retiring because of her injuries, especially the one getting further damage to the neck in a match against Sasha Banks back in December, which had a lot of Twitter people saying, fire Banks. But I said about that, if they want to fire people for injuring wrestlers, fire Joe, fire Rollins. So, there you go. But at least see Paige still out there. Decent little match. Bliss didn't even get in the fucking match at all. It was just like a beatdown of Mickie James all the time. With quick double teaming from Sonya and Mandy. Like, Bliss got in a little bit. But I didn't see a lot of her in the match. It was just Mickie James for the most part, getting her butt whipped before eating an Angel's wings when Sonya Deville's partner Mandy Wells, and she eats the pin because they had to protect the Raw Women's Champion for the Chamber match. So an okay little women's match. We saw a little bit of Bliss, but not enough. Just a Mickie James beatdown. But we saw another attempt at a double beatdown from Absolution James until Bliss made the save again. So we'll see if this will play a little part next week too. So now we're on to the segment of the night. Not only that, my early pick for segment of the year, Elias singing the Elimination Chamber Blues to all of his competitors who are already in the chamber match. Of course, we did not know the sixth man yet, and still don't. So Elias is singing a song by his 4 already booked competitors. He was getting a lot of heel here as usual by walking with Elias. I walk with Elias. So that's what WWE stands for now. Walk with Elias. And he was singing a song about every competitor, saying that, you know, like Roman Reigns, you're the big dog, but you have to leave. People hate you because they don't believe. Bully! Bully! And The Miz, I sing those songs for you, but I actually sung them for Maurice. I'm surprised I didn't get no reaction for the fans there. But he was sung about Cena, about you can't see me or whatever. But as he was singing, the crowd started cheering for something. We found out why they were cheering. They were setting up something. And he sang about Braun Strowman about getting these hands. And then JoJo said, ladies and gentlemen, Braun Strowman. And then Braun Strowman walked out on a chair in a microphone, and I laughed my freaking ass off. I don't remember the last time I genuinely laughed out loud at a segment and not laughed at it sarcastically. And I laughed even more when the kicker happened, when Braun brought out a fucking stand-up bass. Oh my god, I was screaming, laughing. I was like, oh my god, but you had one of the same reaction to that. And then Strowman started strumming the bass and the thing fell off the strings. Bulger's like, fuck it. And he sang his song and he actually sang awesomely. He actually has a good singing voice. And people were like, oh, they're turning him into a comedy act. They turned up monsters into comedy acts. Look what it did to Tenzai. They made him into Little T with Borders Clay. They turned him into a comedy act too. But this was awesome. Especially Braun was like, Elias, you won't have the blues because I'm not finished with you. And he said, after this song's over, you're going to get these hands. And then bang, drops the bass. We thought he was going to use it. But he went to the ring. He carried the bass like Elias carries his guitar. But didn't bring it in the ring. Just brawled with Elias. And delivered another power slam to Elias. He already hit a couple last week. After he stole the victory from Braun. After he did the damage to Cena. As I mentioned earlier in the video. But then he was literally not done with Elias after the power slams. He did drag him out to the stage and did, yes, whack the up bass to the back of Elias. Awesome. Yes, many people will question Elias on the losing end here. Because Braun's over as hell already. No matter what you do with Braun, even if they'll never pull the motherfucking trigger, even if that trigger is so close to pulling it to finally make Strowman a champion. Even if they don't ever pull that trigger to make us Strowman champion, Strowman will still be over because he destroys shit and destroys people. That's what gets him over. But Elias needs to get a little bit more over than Braun. Both get over no matter what. But Elias does need a little bit of a whop. Even Bully Ray questioned it on the internet, on Twitter, saying that Elias should never eat the finish from born with the base. But guess what? Both were made stars. Like, they're already big stars now, but they proved that they are the best parts of War. Best parts of War are when Elias is on and when Braun Strowman's on. And they proved it tonight with this segment. They're already over. They're more over now with this segment, which was awesome and hilarious. And not sarcastically laughing. You know, I wasn't like laughing at it. I was laughing with it. Because it was awesome. Perfectly done. Perfectly executed. When comedy in wrestling works, when it's natural comedy and not forced comedy in wrestling, it works when it's natural. Because I've seen a lot of comedy in WWE that's forced and not funny. Bailey and Alexa Bliss's This Is Your Life comes to mind. When it's forced comedy, it doesn't work. Natural comedy, like this segment tonight, it freaking works. Brilliantly done. We get to this point, we're like, where the hell are the cruiserweights? We never saw them tonight. But we did the match with Sheamus and Roman Reigns. Continuing the semi-shield ball feud. But at least it ain't Seth Rollins against him again. Thank God! This is a feud that finally ended. And it was a good match with these two. There was some good spots there. Cesaro got a little bit involved in the match. And even almost with that distraction, Sheamus almost pulled the win. He wound up Reigns at one point. And it almost went down the referee said almost went down to 3 after Reigns got caught by Sheamus with a distraction from Cesaro. But there was a spot where Roman was going for the drive-by. He got caught mid-move. He got a nasty clothesline from Sheamus to the apron. So that was a cool little spot. It was hard-hitting, exciting. Both men did the big moves. And then, of course, the finisher. Another top rope finisher tonight. Because Sheamus was going off the top rope for something. He got caught in midair with a spear. It was a sloppy spear, but not exactly sloppy. It was still brilliantly done. Kind of easily done spear from midair. And 1, 2, 3 victory for Roman Reigns. Make Roman look strong for the chamber. And this match was set up by a very interesting backstage segment. Because I love the finish of this segment. Because Rollins told Roman he's going to be the last guy in this Fatal 5-Way. And he could be in the chamber match with Roman. And Roman mentioned the fact he eliminated Rollins from the one where he may eliminate him again in the chamber match. If he were to win this match tonight. To enter the chamber match. And then the ball came out, and that's when this match was built. You know, with Sheamus and Rollins. And I love the ending right before camera cut. Rollins was like, nice, good fella, fade to black. Perfect way to end that. Perfect punchline to end that segment. Right with a fade to black. You heard Rollins saying, nice, good fella. So, fun match. These little match with these two. At least it ain't Rollins against them again. It's Reigns against them. So, there you go. Now, on to our main event. The Fatal 5-Way. Second chance Fatal 5-Way. Or as Brian Zane for Wrestling Regret would say, Fatal 5-Way. At least they had a 5-Way with the women. For once. So, yay. When was the last time we saw a Fatal 5-Way for the women? We saw a lot of Fatal 5-Ways last year. We haven't seen that much. We got Fatal 6-Way in the chamber match. But not a 5-Way lately. With the ladies or guys. We got one tonight. As Rollins would be inserted into this match with a sketch be Fatal 4-Way, joining Apollo Crews, Matt Hardy, Woken Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt, and Finn Balor. This was an all-out brawl from the get-go. Not as exciting as last week's Super Fat, but still pretty good, especially near towards the end. Bray Wyatt's kind of the MVP in the match and delivered a lot of big moves, big kicks, big sentons, even tried numerous times for Sister Abigail on a lot of people. He even had an attempt for a Tower of Doom at one point, but we did see a Tower of Doom later in the match. You know, like every guy had its moments in this match. Like Rollins had some big moments. So did Apollo, despite being the overwhelming underdog and dark horse of this match. He did do pretty well in the match. Delivered some big spots, some big splashes. And then midway towards the end of the match, we had like all the finisher medley. As well as got back, gave us some big moves, including a fitting splash attempt. And landed on his feet. Hardy would come back in like all the guys were balling everywhere. Matt would deliver the twist of fate onto Bray Wyatt. But just as he was going to get the pin, Finn Balor, who was already punched on the top rope by Seth Rollins. He got back on his equilibrium and delivered a coup de grace to pick up the pin. But then, even in a curb stomp from Seth Rollins, and then Apollo Crews would break up Rollins' pin, and it was like fast-paced action. And I think after this sequence of finishers, that's where we saw the Tower Doom. I think it was everybody but, I think, Bray, I think. Oh, no, I think it was like, no, I think everybody but Rollins, really. Like, Hardy was doing the twist of fate up the top rope to Wyatt, and then all the other guys came in, and all the stuff. And then Bray and Matt were fighting outside, and Bray would lay out Matt for the rest of the match with his sister Abigail on the floor. And then that's when we had the Tower of Doom, with everybody but Hardy. Balor and Rollins, Tower of Doom, with Wyatt and Crews on the top. And they both got on top of Wyatt. Both Balor and Rollins. Referee counted them both. 1, 2, 3. Who wins? Who wins? Rollins and Balor both pinned Wyatt. Both referees were raising their hands. We thought we were going to get Kurt going to come out to address this, but we got nothing. As referees were arguing about who won, fade to black. I thought it was like a really stunning finish, but I think it was a great finish. A great cliffhanger finish tonight. They never addressed the controversy. They just let it end like that, with two guys questioning who won with a double pin, which will probably end up with a one-on-one match next week. That's what's probably going to happen. But it'll probably be announced via social media or on Raw next week. I thought they were going to announce it then and there, but instead they had like referees arguing, Balor and Rollins arguing about who won. The credits aired, and they faded to black. So I thought it was a very interesting finish. You know, like a cutaway and cliffhanger finish. Like, who won? Tune in next week. Same Raw time, same Raw channel. So, there you go. Yeah. Just like Booker T and Corey Graves got us worked up over their so-called feud for Booker T saying that Graves was the reason why he left, but they worked us over, and more importantly, they fooled us, and they hooked us. Hook, line, and sucker! I told Booker T I'm no sucker, but I am a sucker for following that work they were doing. But, there you go. That is it for my Raw review tonight. Thank you so much for watching. With that in mind, you've all been attacked by the review from Zach. See you next time. Bye-bye.